Hi, I'm Ilana and welcome to my channel Unabridged Adventures. And yes, I did just change my shirt. This is right after I filmed my last video, but wearing a button-up is way too hot in summer here. So we're just gonna move on to another review, and this time it is of Graveminder by Melissa Marr. And this is the first Southern Gothic modern book that I have read. I think the first Southern Gothic book I ever read was A Rose for Emily, and I did read that in school, but I always loved the genre of Southern Gothic, and so I was really excited to get into this book. And while I won't say it was disappointing, it did not live up to all my expectations, and that kind of sucks. But the book itself was not that bad. I had very high expectations for it. So yeah, I will also be recommending some amazing Southern Gothic content at the end. Probably not some books, but I do have some amazing podcasts that you guys should go listen to if you have the time. So Graveminder by Melissa Marr is about a small town, and it's odd, pretty much. And we follow two different characters. One is Rebecca Barrow, and she has left and come back to the town a few times. She's one of the few people to ever really leave the town. She moved there whenever she was a teenager, and she left after her stepsister and stepfather, stepsister committed suicide, and stepfather got a divorce with her mom. And then the other person that we follow is, oh gosh, I can't even remember his name. Byron, right? Also, yes, I'm using my Lord of the Rings box set to hold this up. And then we follow Byron, who is the son of the town undertaker. And so those are pretty much our two main characters. He also has left and has recently moved back to town whenever Rebecca's grandmother is found murdered. And so Rebecca has to come back to town to handle the funeral and deal with a bunch of things, and she's having issues with her step-aunt. And they don't get along because Rebecca was always the favorite of the family, and so you have to deal with these like family issues that are happening, and then people in the town start getting murdered, will continue to get murdered after her grandmother does. And so we learn that, I'm pretty sure this isn't a spoiler. No, this is the whole thing of the book. But pretty much, Rebecca is the Graveminder, and her grandmother was the last Graveminder, and so that means that they have to keep the dead in their graves. And Byron, who is the next undertaker, is the Graveminder's partner. And you'll learn more about that in the book. I don't want to spoil things for you because you know you might like this. And I really enjoyed the concept, but I do think there were a lot of avenues that I wish had been explored, and just things surrounding, like, I wanted to see more of Amity Blue, and I thought she was a very interesting character, but she played a very small role after like the first few chapters. And then just the way that it ended, it was very predictable, to me at least, and I'm just gonna say the ending was very predictable. So overall, I'm giving this a 3 out of 5 stars. It wasn't bad at all. It was just mediocre. It was very much like a mid-aughts sort of book, because I think this came out in like 2008, so I guess not technically mid-aughts, but it just very much has that like YA vibe to it, even though I think this is technically an adult book. I don't know. Okay, I honestly do not know what genre this is in besides Southern Gothic. I don't know if it's YA or adult, and I pretty much just picked this up because I looked up Southern Gothic books by women because I'm trying to support more women authors, and I found this at a used bookstore back like 2 years ago, and I finally just got around to reading it. So yeah, if this sounds interesting to you, I do recommend you pick it up because, you know, you might have different reading tastes than I do, and that is completely fine. I hope you guys find something to love about this book. It is beautiful, and the concept of it is just wonderfully done. And there are bits and pieces that I loved. And yeah, if you guys want to hear more, I can do a spoiler review of this because I do have some specific things I'd like to talk about. I do want to just stop and give a shout out to Unwell, which is a Midwestern Gothic, and as someone from the Midwest, I love it so much. And also to Old Gods of Appalachia, or Appalachia. I'm pretty sure in the podcast they say Appalachia though. And both of those are wonderful. Old Gods a little bit creepier. They delve into the more death, that sort of thing. Whereas Unwell is a little milder with its Gothic elements, not quite as scary. And both are lovely, and I think you guys should go and support both of them. And it's probably because I have been spoiled with podcasts like this that I expected a bit too much from a late aughts book. Just, you know, I'm always looking for more diversity in my novels. I'm looking for some like new twists and turns, and this just wasn't what this book was meant to be. So that's my fault for putting too many expectations on it. But if that does sound interesting to you, go check out Unwell and Old Gods. This is, of course, not sponsored. I would love it if they sponsored me, but I just want to say these are two things that I've really been enjoying lately, and I think they deserve so much more attention and followers. So, yeah, this has been a pretty quick review, unlike my last one, but yeah, okay. Bye. Remember to like and subscribe if you enjoyed this, and if you want to see more content, you can find my Bookstagram and bookshop.org page down below in the description, and also links to support Black Lives Matter and the protests currently happening. So, yeah, bye and have a great day.